Hi guys, welcome back. It's Miss Chavez again, but this time coming at you with similes. Our success criteria for today is I can use and understand similes in a sentence, and I know I've got it when I can determine the meaning of 4 out of 5 sentences on the simile quiz, which brings us to this week's assignments. So, the assignments for this week are going to be the video slide lesson, congrats, you're here, the puzzling portrait sheet, and your practice sheet. And then once that is all complete, we will go ahead and push out the quiz to you guys. All right, time to DTT, define that term. Similes. They are a figure of speech comparing one thing to another using the words like or as. And they are used to make a description more vivid. What's vivid? Vivid is producing powerful feelings or strong, clear images in the mind. And we do this, and it is important because when we're writing, especially in nonfiction, we are creating images for people to see in their mind and to use their imagination to see. So the more clear we can make that, the more powerful we can make that, the easier it's going to be, the more hooked into our writing they're going to be. And it makes it overall more interesting to your readers. All right, so let's compare. I'll read the left side first and then I'll read the right side. So, the left side. The shape of my eyes are like almonds and are as brown as Hershey's. Let's think about that. What are we comparing? We're comparing the shape of my eyes to the shape of almonds, and we've got like, the word like, right in the middle, clearly signifying, signaling a simile. And in the second half, we're comparing the color of my eyes to the colors of Hershey's, like the candy, so meaning they're brown. So what is the meaning? What are we trying to say in this sentence? In short, we're saying that my eyes are brown. We get some additional information from the shape of almonds, and the sentence clearly makes it visible in our brains to picture that almond-shaped eye with brown irises. It makes it very clear for us to see. Second sentence. My hair is as straight as needles and black as coal. So we're comparing the hair to being straight like needles and for the color to be black like coal. Now, does this literally mean that someone has needles for hair, like sewing needles, like needles for hair? No. It just means that there's no kinks, there's no curls, there's no waves, there's no frizz. It's just straight. And black as the color, and coal, you know what I mean. It's black as coal. That color that is extremely dark, very black. And then the third sentence is, the shape of my nose is like a boot. Obviously, not going to be sticking up straight and sticking straight out, but it'll have definitely more of that swoop, which is why they use the analogy of a boot, because that's how boots are shaped. All right, let's get to practicing because practice makes perfect, which is why we have 2 activities for you this week. And I will exit out of the presentation mode so that I can type with you guys. Okie dokie. So the first question is, what is the definition of the word simile? And like we said earlier, we are comparing 2 things using the word like or as. So always start with your sentence starters and your question stems. So I will type the definition of the word simile is comparing one thing to another using the words like or as. Right? Okay. So remember, the definition of the word simile is comparing one thing to another using the words like or as. Second question says complete this sentence using a simile. Now, you guys will have questions like these on your practice sheet, so make sure that you pay attention and work through it with me, okay? Because you're going to be asked to do this on your practice sheet because practice makes perfect. And you'll have questions like this on your quiz, so it's important. All right, so complete this sentence using a simile. The teacher blank. So what can we compare teachers to? What if we compare a teacher to a book? Books are full of lots of information, and so are teachers. And it is important to note that when you're creating similes, you want it to make sense. So it wouldn't make as much sense if I were to say that a teacher is, I don't know, like a beach because they're sandy. Like that just doesn't make sense. So we're going to say that teachers are like books because that makes sense. And remember, use the sentence and question steps. So the teacher is like a book. Now, what does this mean? The teacher is like a book. And I've already said it once, but when you're reading these, it's really important to make sure that you stop and think, okay, what does this actually mean? So we're not saying that the teacher is literally like a book with pages and a hardcover back. We're saying that they're filled with knowledge like books. And then our third question is this sentence a simile? So let's look. The bar of soap was a slippery eel during the dog's bath. Now, I know from our definition that a simile is comparing two things using like or as. Now I'm going to read the sentence again and look for those words. The bar of soap was a slippery eel during the dog's bath. I'm not seeing like or as, and therefore it is not a simile. So I'm going to say no, comma, don't forget punctuation and correct capitalization. This sentence is not a simile. Now, we could make it a simile and we could say the bar of soap was as slippery as an eel, eel during the dog's bath. And then that would become a simile because we're comparing the two using like or as. All right, so what is the puzzling portraits activity? The puzzling portraits activity is going to be you creating, not a Word doc anymore. We actually created one for you. But you'll have your sheet and you're going to write 5 to 6 sentences describing your physical appearance. And you're going to use as many similes with vivid descriptive words as you can. And get creative, guys. This is an opportunity for you to really have fun and think of things that, would be fun for a reader to read, just like a nose shaped like a boot. That's a funny image because obviously people don't have boots on their faces. And then make sure that you're using correct spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. And when you're finished typing your sentences, you aren't going to draw a self-portrait based on your similes anymore. We took that out. I do apologize for not updating the slide. And you don't have to worry about attaching it to anything. And you will see that on your sheet when you go to it, that it doesn't have anything to do with that. You'll still see the set of instructions that I just went through with you, and you'll see an example. Okay, gonna move this up if it'll let me. Thank you. As always, guys, any questions, comments, concerns, celebrations, I'd love to hear them. I appreciate hearing them. It makes my day better knowing that you guys have had good days. And of course, if you have any questions, anything you aren't quite sure on, of course, I'll leave an option on Edpuzzle for you to put that in there so that we can go back and address it. All right, we are all done for today. Great job, guys. Keep up the great work. I'm loving your conversations in the live chat and the added participation. Keep up the great, amazing job. Good job.